Listen, if you're over 50 and dreaming about your forever home in retirement, I don't care about your vision of sunsets or family barbecues right now. I care about your money, the nest egg you've spent decades building that's now supposed to last you 30 years on a fixed income. Because here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to tell you. Most people your age buy emotionally and end up trapped in high-maintenance houses, skyrocketing property taxes, or cities where the nearest cardiac center is an hour away when you need it most. In 2026, the wrong city can drain tens of thousands from your savings every year, and you won't even realize it's happening until you're 75 and broke. I'm Grace Park, and I've watched countless retirees get absolutely slaughtered by bad location decisions. They bought their dream home in the wrong city and spent their golden years house poor, stressed about money, unable to afford the retirement they'd imagined. But I've also helped others lock in wealth and peace of mind by making smart, data-driven decisions about where to buy their forever home. If you're serious about retiring in a home that protects your wealth instead of destroying it, smash that subscribe button right now. This channel is about cold, hard financial truth. We don't sell you fantasies. We show you the numbers that will make or break your retirement. At 50 plus, you're not chasing school districts or career advancement anymore. Those factors that mattered when you were 30 are completely irrelevant now. You're buying your last big home, the one that should be low maintenance so you're not spending weekends fixing things, close to quality doctors because healthcare becomes your number one expense, full of people your age so you have a social life, and actually appreciate over time instead of becoming a depreciating money pit that you can't sell when you need to. Here's what happens to most retirees who choose the wrong city. They fall in love with a charming old house in a city they visited once and liked. Seems perfect. They buy it at 62. Within 5 years, they've spent $20,000 on a new roof, $15,000 on HVAC replacement, $12,000 on plumbing repairs. The house is beautiful, but it's eating them alive financially. Or they buy in a city without considering healthcare access. Everything's great until one of them has a stroke at 70. The nearest comprehensive stroke center is 90 minutes away. Critical treatment is delayed. The outcome is worse than it should have been. Or they buy in a city where they don't know anyone and there's no active 55 plus community. They're isolated, lonely, depressed, their mental and physical health deteriorates, or they buy in a stagnant or declining market. 10 years later, when they need to downsize or move closer to family, their house is worth the same or less than they paid. They can't get out without taking a loss. Their equity, which was supposed to help fund assisted living if needed, has evaporated. These scenarios aren't rare. They're typical. Most retirees make at least one of these mistakes because they're making emotional decisions instead of analytical ones. They're not thinking about their forever home as a financial asset that needs to perform specific functions. They're thinking about it as a lifestyle fantasy. But pick the right city in 2026, and your forever home becomes an asset that grows while your stress and bills shrink. You're in a community with people your age. You have social activities and friendships. You have quick access to excellent health care. Your house requires minimal maintenance because it's newer or well built. Your property taxes are reasonable because you chose a tax-friendly city. Your utility bills are manageable because the climate is temperate. And your home appreciates steadily because you bought in a growing market where other retirees want to be. This is what a smart retirement home purchase looks like. Now let me give you my analytical framework for evaluating cities for your forever home. I use 5 critical factors that are specifically designed for people over 50 who are buying what will likely be their last primary residence. Factor number one is taxes and cost of living optimized for fixed income. You're no longer earning a salary that adjusts for inflation. Your income is fixed from Social Security, pensions, and retirement account withdrawals. Every dollar that goes to property taxes, state income taxes on your retirement withdrawals, or inflated costs is a dollar you can't spend on healthcare, travel, or enjoying life. Low property taxes are critical. No state income tax is a massive advantage. Reasonable costs for utilities, groceries, and services make your fixed income stretch further. Factor number two is healthcare accessibility, which becomes your most important consideration as you age. You need to be within short driving distance of quality hospitals with specialized care for cardiac events, strokes, cancer, orthopedics, and other conditions common in older adults. You need access to multiple primary care physicians and specialists. You need pharmacies and medical supply stores nearby. In an emergency, 20 minutes can mean the difference between life and death or full recovery versus permanent disability. Your forever home city must have excellent healthcare infrastructure. Factor number three is 55+ community presence and social infrastructure. Human beings are social creatures. Isolation kills. Study after study shows that social engagement is one of the strongest predictors of healthy aging. You need to be in a city with active adult communities, clubs, activities, and a critical mass of people your age. This doesn't mean you have to live in a gated 55+ development, but the city should have that infrastructure available. You should be able to find pickleball leagues, book clubs, volunteer opportunities, and social groups without driving an hour. Factor number four is housing type and maintenance burden. At 50+, you don't want to be climbing ladders to clean gutters or dealing with a massive yard that requires constant upkeep. You want housing options that are low maintenance, preferably single story to avoid stairs as you age, with reasonable HOA or community fees that handle exterior maintenance, and built within the last 20 years so major systems like roofs and HVAC have useful life remaining. The city should offer these housing options at accessible price points. Factor number five is growth trends and appreciation potential. Your home is likely your largest asset. It needs to hold or grow in value so you maintain your net worth. You need to be able to sell if circumstances change, which means you need a liquid market with demand. Cities where retirees are moving in, where new 55+ communities are being developed, and where home values have shown steady appreciation are your targets. Cities losing population or where home values are flat or declining should be avoided entirely. I ran the latest 2026 migration data, healthcare rankings, tax structures, 55+ community growth numbers, and real estate trends for cities across America. 5 cities crush every metric. These are your safest bets for a forever home that works for you, not against you. These aren't the usual suspects you see in every retirement article. These are cities where the data in 2026 specifically shows exceptional value for people over 50 buying their last home. Now I'm going to walk you through each of these 5 cities. For each one, I'll show you exactly why it's optimal for your forever home, what the specific advantages are in 2026, what the healthcare and community infrastructure looks like, and how it compares to common mistakes retirees make in city selection. City number 1 is The Woodlands, Texas. This is a master-planned community about 30 miles north of Houston, and it represents everything a retirement forever home city should be in 2026. The Woodlands has all the tax advantages of Texas, which means 0 state income tax, your Social Security, your pension, your 401k withdrawals, all completely untaxed by the state. If you're withdrawing $50,000 annually from retirement accounts, you're saving $4,000 to $5,000 per year compared to states with income taxes. Over 20 years, that's $80,000 to $100,000 in your pocket instead of the government's. Property taxes in the Woodlands are higher than some states, but far more reasonable than the Northeast or Midwest. On a typical $400,000 home in the Woodlands, you're looking at about $10,000 to $12,000 annually in property taxes. That's less than what you'd pay on a similar value home in New Jersey, New York, or Illinois. And the money goes to excellent services, including some of the best maintained infrastructure in Texas. Healthcare access from the Woodlands is world-class. You're 30 minutes from the Texas Medical Center in Houston, the largest medical complex in the world. MD Anderson Cancer Center, consistently ranked #1 for cancer treatment. Texas Heart Institute, Houston Methodist, Baylor St. Luke's. If you have a serious medical condition, being near the Texas Medical Center gives you access to specialists and treatments that simply don't exist in smaller markets. For routine care, the Woodlands itself has excellent hospitals and medical facilities, including Memorial Hermann the Woodlands Medical Center and several specialized clinics. The community infrastructure in the Woodlands is extraordinary. This is a planned community built with intention. Tree-lined streets designed to be walkable, extensive trail systems for walking and biking, parks and green spaces throughout, community centers with activities and classes. And critically for retirees, there are numerous 55-plus neighborhoods within the Woodlands offering various price points and styles. You can find active adult communities with amenities like pools and fitness centers, or age-restricted neighborhoods with lower maintenance single-family homes. Housing options in the Woodlands are diverse and generally newer construction or well-maintained. You can find single-story ranch homes perfect for aging in place. You can find luxury condos with full-service amenities. You can find townhomes that minimize yard maintenance while providing space. Most properties were built within the last 20 to 30 years, which means modern construction standards, energy efficiency, and major systems with remaining useful life. You're not buying a charming 100-year-old house that needs constant, expensive repairs. The Woodlands offers luxury living at what many consider Midwest prices. A beautiful single-story home with 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, updated kitchen in a nice neighborhood might run $350,000 to $450,000. That same home in California would cost $1 million or more. You're getting premium quality of life without premium California or Northeast pricing. Growth and appreciation trends in the Woodlands remain strong in 2026. Corporate relocations to the Houston area continue. Young professionals are moving to Texas, and retirees are following because where economic growth goes, property values follow. The Woodlands has proven itself over decades as a community that holds and grows value. New phases of development continue to be added. Demand consistently outpaces supply in desirable neighborhoods. Let me give you a real scenario. You're 60 years old, retiring from a corporate job in Illinois. You're tired of brutal winters, tired of $14,000 annual property taxes, tired of crumbling infrastructure. You visit the Woodlands and you're blown away. Beautiful community, walkable, safe, friendly people, excellent amenities. You buy a 3-bedroom single-story home for $380,000 in a neighborhood with many other retirees. Your property taxes drop from $14,000 to $11,000. You pay 0 state income tax, saving another $4,000 annually. Your heating bills basically disappear. Your total annual costs drop by at least $15,000. Over a 20-year retirement, that's $300,000 in savings. The Woodlands doesn't just give you a better lifestyle. It extends your financial security by potentially 5 years or more. City number 2 is Homosassa Springs, Florida. This is an under-the-radar gem on Florida's nature coast that offers everything retirees need without the overcrowding and expense of places like Naples or Sarasota. Homosassa Springs has all the tax advantages of Florida: zero state income tax, no tax on Social Security benefits, no tax on pension or retirement account withdrawals, reasonable property taxes with the homestead exemption. For retirees on fixed income, Florida's tax structure is unbeatable. You keep more of every dollar. The cost of living in Homosassa Springs is substantially lower than Florida's more famous retirement destinations. While Naples or Sarasota median home prices push $500,000 to $700,000 or more, you can find beautiful homes in Homosassa Springs for $250,000 to $350,000. That's a couple $100,000 you're not tying up in your house, which means more liquidity for healthcare, travel, or passing to heirs. Healthcare access from Homosassa Springs has improved dramatically in recent years. Seven Rivers Regional Medical Center serves the area with emergency and acute care. For more specialized treatment, you're about an hour from Tampa's excellent medical facilities, including Tampa General Hospital and Moffitt Cancer Center. It's not the 30-minute proximity of the Woodlands to Houston, but it's very manageable, and the local facilities handle most routine and urgent needs well. The lifestyle in Homosassa Springs centers around water and nature. The area is famous for its natural springs and waterways. Manatees are common in the rivers during winter months. Fishing, kayaking, and boating are year-round activities. If you're the type of retiree who wants quiet, natural beauty and outdoor activities instead of resort-style amenities, Homosassa Springs is perfect. The retiree population in Homosassa Springs and surrounding Citrus County has exploded in the past decade and continues growing in 2026. Developers have taken notice and are building new 55-plus communities and low-maintenance housing specifically for retirees. Unlike older established markets that are saturated, Homosassa Springs is still in growth mode, which supports property values. Housing options in Homosassa Springs emphasize low maintenance and affordability. You'll find manufactured home communities offering waterfront access at very reasonable prices. You'll find newer single-story CBS construction homes built to Florida's strict hurricane codes. You'll find villa-style condos and townhomes perfect for someone who wants to lock the door and travel without worrying about property maintenance. Climate in Homosassa Springs is classic Florida Gulf Coast, warm year-round, no snow ever, mild winters in the 70s and low 80s. Summers are hot and humid but manageable, especially in newer homes with good air conditioning. Hurricane risk exists, but is lower than the southeastern Florida coast, and modern construction standards make homes far more resilient than older properties. Let me show you what this looks like financially. You're 65, selling your house in Ohio for $350,000. You're tired of snow, ice, 6-month winters, and watching your friends have heart attacks shoveling their driveways. You visit Florida's nature coast, discover Homosassa Springs, and love the slower pace and natural beauty. You buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-story home in a 55-plus community for $270,000. Your property taxes with homestead are about $3,500 annually. You pay zero state income tax. Your heating bills are non-existent. Your total annual costs are maybe $10,000 for taxes, insurance, utilities, and HOA combined. Meanwhile, your friend who stayed in Ohio is paying $9,000 in property taxes, $3,000 in state income tax on withdrawals, and $4,000 in heating. He's spending $16,000 before anything else. You're spending $10,000 total. That $6,000 annual difference over 25 years is $150,000. Homosassa Springs gives you peaceful waterfront access without Miami crowds or prices, and it saves you a fortune. City number 3 is Rio Rancho, New Mexico. This is a wildly underrated retirement destination that offers exceptional value in 2026, particularly for people with arthritis, respiratory issues, or anyone who loves sunshine and outdoor activities. Rio Rancho's tax situation is favorable for retirees. New Mexico has state income tax, but Social Security benefits are completely exempt. There's also a retirement income exemption of $8,000 annually for taxpayers over 65. Property taxes in Rio Rancho are low compared to most of the country, typically under 1% effective rate. On a $300,000 home, you're paying around $2,500 to $3,000 annually in property taxes. That's a fraction of what you'd pay in the Northeast or Midwest. The climate in Rio Rancho is exceptional for retirees, particularly those with joint or respiratory conditions. High desert at about 5,000 feet elevation, over 300 days of sunshine annually, low humidity, mild winters that rarely see snow at lower elevations. Summers are warm, but the low humidity makes it comfortable. For people with arthritis or COPD, the dry climate often provides significant symptom relief. You can be outdoors year-round, which promotes activity and health. Healthcare access from Rio Rancho is excellent because you're immediately adjacent to Albuquerque, which has very good medical facilities for a city its size. University of New Mexico Hospital is a Level 1 trauma center. Presbyterian Healthcare Services has multiple facilities. Lovelace Health System. For a metro area of just under 1 million people, Albuquerque punches well above its weight in healthcare quality and access. The 55-plus community infrastructure in Rio Rancho is well established and still growing. Del Webb built one of their signature Sun City communities in Rio Rancho starting in the late 90s. It's now a mature, thriving community of several thousand retirees with amenities like golf courses, fitness centers, pools, and constant social activities. Other age-restricted developments have followed. You have real choices for active adult living. Housing options in Rio Rancho emphasize the single-story, low-maintenance homes that retirees need. Most of the 55-plus communities feature ranch-style homes with 2 to 3 bedrooms, attached garages, and xeriscaped yards that require minimal watering and maintenance. HOA fees typically cover exterior maintenance and amenities, ranging from $100 to $300 monthly depending on the community. Cost of living in Rio Rancho is remarkably low for the quality of life offered. A very nice updated home in a 55-plus community might run $250,000 to $350,000. Groceries are inexpensive. Utilities are reasonable. You can live very comfortably on a modest fixed income in Rio Rancho in ways that would be impossible in coastal markets. Migration trends to Rio Rancho show steady growth in the retiree demographic in 2026. While it's not seeing the explosive growth of Florida or Texas, it's attracting a steady stream of retirees from California, the Pacific Northwest, and the Midwest who discover it and recognize the value. This steady demand supports property values without creating the speculation and overheating you see in some markets. Let me paint the picture. You're 50 58 with rheumatoid arthritis. You've lived in Seattle your whole life. Every winter is painful. Your joints ache. Mobility decreases. You visit New Mexico and within days you feel better. The dry climate, the sunshine, the lower barometric pressure all help. You buy a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, single-story home in Rio Rancho's Sun City for $290,000. Your property taxes are $2,800. Your state income tax burden is minimal thanks to exemptions. Your HOA of $200 per month covers exterior maintenance, clubhouse, fitness center, pools, and golf. You can be active outdoors every single day. Your health improves, your mobility improves, your mood improves, you're spending less than living in Seattle, and you feel better than you have in years. Rio Rancho is the under-the-radar gem with big retiree migration gains in 2026, and it offers unbeatable value for people who prioritize health and affordability. City number 4 is Spring Hill, Florida. This is what I call the Goldilocks city for Florida retirees. Not too expensive like the coasts, not too remote like the Panhandle, but just right for value, access, and lifestyle. Spring Hill is located in Hernando County on Florida's west coast, about an hour north of Tampa. It has exploded in growth over the past decade as retirees discovered they could get Florida's tax advantages and climate without paying coastal premium prices. The tax situation in Spring Hill is identical to anywhere in Florida. 0 state income tax, no tax on Social Security or retirement income. Property taxes with homestead exemption are very reasonable, typically $4,000 to $6,000 annually on a home in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. Healthcare access from Spring Hill has improved dramatically. Oak Hill Hospital serves the immediate area. For more complex care, you're under an hour from Tampa's world-class facilities, including Tampa General, one of the top hospitals in Florida, Moffitt Cancer Center. All the specialized care you might need is accessible without being prohibitively far. The housing market in Spring Hill in 2026 offers exceptional value for retirees. You can still find brand new construction single-story homes in the low to mid 300s. These aren't old houses with deferred maintenance. These are new builds with modern floor plans, energy-efficient systems, and everything designed for contemporary living. Many developments cater specifically to 55-plus buyers with single-story layouts, minimal yard maintenance, and community amenities. The community infrastructure in Spring Hill has matured significantly. There are active social clubs, activities through the county recreation department, numerous golf courses, and a growing number of 55-plus focused developments with their own clubhouses and social calendars. You won't be isolated. There are thousands of other retirees in the area creating a built-in social network. Climate in Spring Hill is classic Florida Gulf Coast. Warm year-round, mild winters, no snow ever. Hurricane risk exists as it does anywhere in Florida, but modern construction codes and proper insurance make this manageable. The payoff is never dealing with ice, snow, or brutal cold again. Cost of living in Spring Hill is substantially lower than Tampa or the more established coastal retirement markets. Your dollars go further. You can afford a nicer home with more space. Groceries, dining, entertainment all cost less than metro areas. Growth trends in Spring Hill remain very strong in 2026. Retirees continue pouring in from the Northeast and Midwest. New developments continue being built. Infrastructure is being upgraded. Home values have shown steady appreciation as the area transitions from overlooked to desirable. Here's what it looks like in practice. You're 62, retiring from a job in New York. You're sick of brutal winters, sick of $18,000 annual property taxes, sick of everything costing a fortune. You want Florida, but Naples and Sarasota are too expensive. You discover Spring Hill. You buy a brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-story home in a 55-plus community for $330,000. Your property taxes are $5,200 with homestead. You pay 0 state income tax. Your HOA of $150 per month covers your lawn maintenance and community amenities. Your total annual costs are maybe $12,000 for everything. Your friend who stayed in suburban New York is paying $22,000 just in property taxes and state income tax before anything else. You're saving $10,000 annually minimum. Over 20 years, that's $200,000. Spring Hill gives you the perfect balance of affordability and access to big city healthcare, and it's still early enough in the growth curve that you're buying before it gets expensive. City number 5 is the Charleston area of South Carolina. Charleston combines historical charm, modern amenities, excellent healthcare, vibrant culture, and retirement-friendly economics in a way that few cities can match. The tax situation in South Carolina is very favorable for retirees. Social Security benefits are completely exempt from state income tax. There's a retirement income deduction of $15,000 annually if you're 65 or older, which can exempt significant portions of pension or 401k withdrawals. Property taxes are low with homestead exemptions. Many retirees pay total state and local taxes that are a tiny fraction of what they paid in high-tax states. Charleston's healthcare infrastructure is excellent. The Medical University of South Carolina, known as MUSC, is one of the premier academic medical centers in the Southeast. It's consistently ranked among the top hospitals in the nation for various specialties. Roper Hospital, Trident Medical Center, East Cooper Medical Center. Whether you live in downtown Charleston or the surrounding suburbs, you have quick access to quality health care. The Charleston area offers diverse housing options for retirees. If you want walkable urban living with culture and restaurants, downtown Charleston or Mount Pleasant offer condos and townhomes in established neighborhoods. If you want suburban, low-maintenance living, areas like Somerville or Goose Creek have numerous new developments with single-story homes perfect for retirees. If you want coastal living, islands like James Island or Johns Island offer proximity to beaches and water. Price points range from the high 200s to over $1 million depending on location and style. The 55-plus community presence in the Charleston area is robust and growing. Del Webb has built a Sun City community in the area. There are numerous smaller active adult developments. The social infrastructure for retirees is well established with clubs, activities, volunteer opportunities, and a critical mass of people your age. Climate in Charleston is mild by most standards. Winters are gentle with average temperatures in the 50s and 60s. You might see a frost or two, but snow is rare. Springs are beautiful. Summers are hot and humid, but coastal breezes moderate the heat. Fall is spectacular. You have 4 seasons without the brutal extremes. Hurricane risk exists, but Charleston has excellent building codes, and most serious storms trend north or south of the city. Cost of living in Charleston is higher than some retirement destinations, but significantly lower than comparable historic coastal cities. You're getting Charleston's charm, culture, restaurants, and historical significance for far less than you'd pay for similar quality of life in California or the Northeast. Culture and lifestyle in Charleston are major draws for retirees who don't want to feel isolated in a 55-plus bubble. Charleston has world-class restaurants, theaters, museums, festivals, and a vibrant art scene. You can engage with culture and entertainment without being surrounded only by other retirees. Many people find this balance appealing. Migration trends to Charleston show strong, sustained growth in the retiree demographic. People from the Northeast are discovering South Carolina in massive numbers. The combination of tax advantages, climate, culture, and healthcare makes Charleston increasingly attractive. This demographic trend supports real estate values and ensures the market remains liquid. Let me show you what Charleston offers. You're 63, retiring from a career in Connecticut. You're tired of harsh winters, brutal property taxes, and watching your state decline. You want culture, history, good food, and a vibrant community, but you also want financial sanity. You visit Charleston and fall in love. The charm, the food, the history, the friendly people. You buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-story home in a newer development in Somerville for $340,000. Your property taxes are $3,800 with homestead. Your state income tax burden is minimal thanks to retirement exemptions. You're 15 minutes from excellent shopping and dining, 30 minutes from downtown Charleston, and you have quick access to MUSC if you need specialized care. Your total annual costs are maybe $15,000 for taxes, insurance, utilities, and HOA. Your friend who stayed in Connecticut is paying $16,000 just in property taxes. You're spending $15,000 total and living in a city with incredible culture, mild winters, and steady appreciation. Charleston gives you Southern hospitality combined with appreciation potential, and both your money and your health thrive. Now let me briefly address the cities and types of locations you should absolutely avoid for your forever home if you're over 50. These are the retirement nightmare scenarios that trap people financially and emotionally. Stay away from overcrowded cold climate cities and high-tax states. Places like Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Buffalo, brutal winters that last 6 months, snow and ice that cause falls and injuries, heating bills that run $500 to $800 monthly, property taxes that are astronomical, state income taxes that punish your fixed income, declining populations that threaten property values. If you retire in one of these cities, you're volunteering for financial stress and health risk. Avoid overpriced coastal California markets unless you're extremely wealthy. San Diego, Orange County, parts of Los Angeles, median home prices over $1 million. Property taxes that will run $10,000 to $15,000 or more annually. State income tax up to 13%. Homeowners insurance skyrocketing due to wildfire risk. For regular retirees with typical nest eggs, California will bleed you dry. Be very careful with isolated small towns that lack healthcare infrastructure. Some people romanticize the idea of retiring to a tiny town in Montana or rural Maine. Beautiful scenery, quiet, peaceful. But what happens when you have a heart attack and the nearest cardiac center is 2 hours away? Or you develop cancer and the nearest oncologist is 90 minutes, or you need a hip replacement and there's no orthopedic surgeon within 50 miles, isolation kills in retirement, both socially and medically. Avoid cities with flat or declining home values. If retirees are leaving instead of arriving, that tells you something. If home values have been stagnant for a decade, your largest asset won't grow. You'll be trapped if you need to sell. Your equity won't be there to fund assisted living if needed. The 2026 data is merciless on cities losing population and experiencing flat appreciation. Now let me address timing and common questions because I know what you're thinking. When should you make the move to your forever home city? The sweet spot is typically between age 55 and 65. You're young enough to adapt to a new community and build new friendships. You're old enough to be done with career relocations and child rearing. You can establish yourself before health issues arise. If you wait until 75, the move becomes exponentially harder both physically and emotionally. What about 2026 specifically as a buying year? Interest rates may continue declining through late 2026 and into 2027, which could create opportunities. But don't wait until every other retiree floods these markets and drives up prices. The best strategy is to identify your target city now, monitor inventory, and be ready to move when you find the right property in the right neighborhood. Focus on 55+ neighborhoods with good resale history. Look for communities that are established but still growing, not brand new experiments or oversaturated markets. What if you already own a home in a high-cost, high-tax city? Run the numbers honestly. Compare your current annual property tax, state income tax on retirement withdrawals, utility costs, and healthcare travel time versus these 5 cities. If these cities would save you $10,000 or more annually, you need to start planning your exit. Your biggest earning years are behind you. You can't make up lost money. You have to protect what you've accumulated. Selling and moving might be the smartest financial decision you ever make, even accounting for transaction costs. What about interest rates scaring you away from buying? Higher rates actually scare amateur buyers away, which is when you can negotiate better deals. If you buy in a growth city with strong fundamentals, you can always refinance later when rates drop. The location and the community matter far more than the interest rate. A great forever home in the right city at 7% is better than a mistake at 4%. What about missing family and friends if you move? This is real and emotional, and I understand it. But you have to make a rational decision about your largest asset and your financial security. Modern technology makes staying in touch easier than ever. Video calls, cheap flights for visits. Many retirees find that they visit family more, not less, after they move because family wants to visit their retirement location. And you'll make new friends in your new city, especially if you choose a place with active 55+ communities where everyone is looking to build new social networks. What about concerns about healthcare quality in smaller markets? All 5 of these cities have excellent healthcare infrastructure or are close to major medical centers. The Woodlands is 30 minutes from the Texas Medical Center. Homosassa Springs is an hour from Tampa's facilities. Rio Rancho is adjacent to Albuquerque's hospitals. Spring Hill is under an hour from Tampa. Charleston has MUSC and other excellent facilities. You're not sacrificing healthcare access with any of these choices. What about natural disaster risks like hurricanes or extreme heat? Florida cities have hurricane risk, but modern construction codes make homes far more resilient than older properties. Proper insurance coverage is essential and built into your budget. Texas has heat, but also excellent air conditioning and energy infrastructure. New Mexico and South Carolina have minimal natural disaster risk. Compare these manageable, insurable risks to the guaranteed costs and health risks of 6-month winters with snow, ice, and heating bills in cold climates. The math favors warm climates even with hurricane insurance costs. How do you find the right specific neighborhood within these cities? This requires research and visits. Don't buy sight unseen. Visit the city multiple times, ideally in different seasons. Tour several 55+ communities. Talk to residents. Ask about HOA financial health. Check crime statistics. Drive around at different times of day. Look at resale data for the neighborhood. How long do homes stay on the market? Are they selling above or below asking? Has the community maintained its value? Is the HOA well funded with adequate reserves? These details matter enormously for your forever home. What's the ideal budget range for these cities? The sweet spot for quality retirement homes in these cities in 2026 runs roughly $250,000 to $450,000 depending on the city and specific community. This range gets you updated single-story homes in nice neighborhoods with amenities and low maintenance. You can certainly spend more for luxury or less for more modest properties, but this range offers excellent value. Let me give you my final comprehensive advice for buying your forever home in 2026. Treat this as the most important financial decision of your retirement because it is. Your home is likely your largest asset. It determines your annual costs. It affects your health through climate and healthcare access. It impacts your happiness through community and social opportunities. Getting it right adds years of financial security and life satisfaction. Getting it wrong creates stress, financial pressure, and regret. Make this decision based on data, not emotion. Yes, you might love the idea of a charming Victorian in Vermont or a cabin in the mountains, but if the numbers don't work, if the property taxes are brutal, if you're hours from quality health care, if you'll be isolated, it's a bad decision no matter how much you love the aesthetics. Run detailed financial projections. Calculate exactly what your total annual costs will be in each city you're considering. Property taxes, state income taxes on your retirement withdrawals, homeowners insurance, utilities, HOA fees, maintenance, healthcare costs, including Medicare supplement and prescriptions, transportation, add it all up, then compare to your fixed income sources. Can you comfortably afford it with a cushion, or are you stretching? If you're stretching, you're setting yourself up for financial stress. Prioritize healthcare access as non-negotiable. You cannot predict what health issues you'll face. You might be perfectly healthy at 60 and have a heart attack at 68. Being near excellent healthcare isn't optional. It's essential. Every one of these 5 cities offers quality healthcare access. Don't compromise on this factor. Choose a city with a critical mass of other retirees and 55+ infrastructure. You want to be around people your age. You want activities and social opportunities. You want a community designed for your life stage. This isn't being ageist. This is recognizing that your needs and interests have changed. You don't want to be the only retirees in a neighborhood of young families with screaming kids and loud parties. You want peers. Buy low-maintenance housing. Your forever home should require minimal upkeep. Single-story is strongly preferred to avoid stairs. Newer construction or well-maintained properties. Reasonable HOA that handles exterior work. Small yards or xeriscaping. You don't want to spend your retirement weekends doing yard work and home repairs. You want to enjoy your time. Verify the HOA is financially healthy if you're buying in a community with one. Request financial statements. Check that reserves are adequate for future capital expenses. Ask about upcoming special assessments. An underfunded HOA can hit you with massive unexpected costs that destroy your budget. Get comprehensive homeowners insurance and flood insurance if applicable. Budget for higher insurance costs. Factor in hurricane insurance for Florida properties. Ensure you're properly covered so a disaster doesn't wipe you out financially. Plan for aging in place if possible. Can the home accommodate mobility issues if they develop? Are doorways wide enough for wheelchairs? Is the master bedroom and bath on the main level? Could you install grab bars in the bathroom if needed? Thinking about these factors now can save you from having to move again in 10 or 15 years. Visit multiple times before buying. Don't make a decision based on one vacation visit. Go back, spend time in the area, talk to residents, Experience the community. Make sure it's right for you before you commit. Work with a real estate agent who specializes in 55+ buyers. They understand your needs. They know the communities. They can guide you to properties that actually work for retirees instead of just showing you what's available. These 5 cities, the Woodlands in Texas, Homosassa Springs in Florida, Rio Rancho in New Mexico, Spring Hill in Florida, and the Charleston area in South Carolina, are not just nice places to retire. They're where the 2026 data says retirees are moving, values are rising, and life is easier on your body and wallet. These cities offer the combination of financial sanity, healthcare access, social opportunities, low-maintenance housing, and appreciation potential that makes a forever home actually work. The Woodlands gives you luxury living at reasonable prices with world-class healthcare access. Homosassa Springs gives you peaceful waterfront Florida living without overcrowding or excessive costs. Rio Rancho gives you an exceptional climate for health with incredible affordability. Spring Hill gives you Florida's advantages with perfect balance of price and access. Charleston gives you culture, charm, and financial advantages with mild climate. Each of these cities solves the forever home equation in a slightly different way, but they all solve it. Your job is to determine which one fits your priorities, your budget, and your vision for retirement. Visit them, research them, run the numbers, then make your decision. You worked your whole life for peace and security. You saved, you sacrificed, you were disciplined. Don't settle for less in retirement. Don't let a bad location decision destroy what you built. Don't let emotion override analysis. Make the smart move to a city that protects your nest egg while improving your life. If you're ready to find your forever home the smart way, smash that like button right now. Share this with every friend or family member over 50 who's thinking about where to retire. Post it in your social groups. Send it to your siblings. This information could change someone's entire retirement trajectory. Subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification. Next week, we're breaking down exact neighborhoods within these cities, showing you specific 55+ communities, discussing HOA fees and community amenities, and giving you the detailed information you need to actually make a purchase decision. Leave a comment and tell me which of these 5 cities appeals to you most and why. What's your biggest concern about relocating for retirement? What factors matter most to you in choosing your forever home city? Let's discuss it in the comments and help each other make the smartest decisions. Make the move that protects everything you've built. Choose a forever home in a city that works for you financially, medically, and socially. The data is clear. These 5 cities are your best options in 2026. Now go secure your future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.